The African savanna stretches out like a vast golden sea. Under the immense blue sky, the grasslands ripple in the warm breeze. It is a place of breathtaking beauty, where acacia trees stand like lonely sculptures against the horizon. The air hums with the sound of insects and the distant calls of birds. At dawn, the light paints the landscape in soft shades of pink and orange. At dusk, the setting sun turns the sky into a fiery masterpiece. This is a world that appears peaceful, a tranquil paradise, where nature seems to be in perfect harmony. It is a land that has remained unchanged for thousands of years, a timeless stage for the great drama of life. But beneath this beautiful surface, the savanna is a place of constant struggle. It is a battlefield where the fight for survival never ends. Every creature here, from the smallest insect to the largest elephant, is locked in a daily battle. The heat can be relentless, and the search for water is a constant, desperate quest during the dry season. The open plains offer little place to hide, making every moment a risk. Danger lurks behind every bush and in the long, swaying grasses. The beauty of the savanna is deceptive. It is a mask that conceals the harsh reality of life and the ever-present shadow of death that follows every living thing. This world is governed by simple, brutal truths. To live, you must eat, but to eat you must often kill. For the hunter, every day is a test of strength, skill, and patience. A missed opportunity could mean going hungry, weakening, and losing the strength needed for the next hunt. For the hunted, a moment of carelessness can be fatal. A single mistake, a moment of inattention, is all it takes for a life to be extinguished. The air that carries the sweet scent of wild basil also carries the scent of fear and the metallic tang of blood. This is the fundamental rule of the savanna. Life is a precious, fleeting gift that must be fought for every single day. Here, in this magnificent and merciless arena, the lion reigns as king. But this is no fairy tale kingdom. The lion's crown is heavy, forged in conflict and maintained through constant vigilance and raw power. The lion does not rule through grace or diplomacy, but through sheer strength and an unyielding will to dominate. Its roar is not a song of peace but a declaration of war, a warning to all who would dare challenge its authority. The lion's kingdom is a territory paid for in blood and defended with brutal force. It is a world where survival is the only law, and the king must be the strongest warrior of all. On the savanna, life and death are partners in an endless, intricate dance. The relationship between predator and prey is the engine that drives this entire ecosystem. It is a cycle that has been perfected over millennia, a delicate balance where one cannot exist without the other. The great herds of wildebeest, zebra, and buffalo are the lifeblood of the plains. They follow the rains in their great migrations, their hooves thundering across the earth. Their lives are a constant search for fresh grass and safe water, a journey fraught with peril at every turn. They are the embodiment of life, vast and vibrant, moving as one great organism across the land. The predators, like the lions, leopards, and cheetahs, are the agents of death. They are finely tuned killing machines, each adapted perfectly for their role. The cheetah uses its incredible speed in a short, explosive burst. The leopard uses stealth and ambush, a silent ghost that strikes from the shadows. The lions use teamwork and overwhelming power, a coordinated force of nature. Their success means survival for their families, their cubs. Their failure means starvation. This constant pressure from predators ensures that only the strongest and most alert of the prey animals survive to pass on their genes, keeping the herds healthy and resilient. This daily drama unfolds with a raw and honest brutality. A herd of zebra grazes peacefully, their stripes creating a dizzying pattern that confuses the eye. They seem safe in their numbers, a fortress of black and white, but the lionesses are watching. They move with an almost impossible slowness, their tawny coats blending perfectly with the dry grass. They use the wind and the contours of the land to their advantage, inching closer without a sound. The tension is a physical thing, a silent current running through the air. The zebra are on edge, their ears twitching, their nostrils flaring, sensing a danger they cannot yet see. Then, the explosion of action. The hunt is a chaotic whirlwind of dust and desperate speed. The lions burst from their cover and the herd scatters in a panic. It is a test of nerve and stamina. The lions must single out an individual, often the old, the young, or the sick. They must work together to isolate their target and bring it down. The chase is short, but violent. For the chosen zebra, it is a final, desperate sprint for life. For the lions, it is a crucial moment that will decide if their cubs eat or go hungry. This is the stark reality of the savannah, a place where one life must end for another to continue. The Society of Lions is built upon a foundation of strict, unspoken laws. It is a complex social structure known as a pride, and it is the key to their survival in this harsh world. A pride is an extended family, typically consisting of several related lionesses, their cubs, and one or more adult males. This is not a random gathering of individuals, it is a highly organized and cooperative unit. The core of the pride is the sisterhood of lionesses. They are born into the pride and will likely spend their entire lives within its protective embrace. They are the hunters, the mothers, and the enduring heart of the kingdom. Within this society, every lion has a specific role to play. The lionesses are the primary providers. They are the hunters who work together with remarkable coordination to bring down prey much larger than themselves. Hunting as a team allows them to tackle formidable animals like buffalo and giraffe, a feat a single lion could rarely accomplish. They are also the caregivers, raising their cubs communally. A lioness will allow cubs other than her own to suckle, a remarkable act of cooperation that increases the chances of survival for all the pride's young. This shared responsibility binds the lionesses together in a powerful and unbreakable bond. The rules of the pride are absolute and enforced without mercy. Outsiders are not welcome. A strange lioness who tries to join a pride will be met with extreme aggression and is likely to be driven off or even killed. The pride's territory is their life, and they will defend it fiercely against any intruders. This social structure provides immense benefits, offering safety in numbers, cooperative hunting, and shared defense of their precious territory and cubs. Life in a pride is a life of shared purpose, where the success of the group is far more important than the success of any single individual. The male lions have a different, but equally vital role. They are the protectors and the guardians of the pride's territory. Their larger size and magnificent manes are not just for show, they are symbols of their strength and fighting ability. Their primary duty is to patrol the boundaries of their kingdom, confronting and fighting off any rival males who would try to take over. This is a life of constant conflict and vigilance. The males are the pride's shield, their presence a powerful deterrent to challengers. While they may seem lazy as they sleep through the heat of the day, their job is one of immense danger and importance. A lion's kingdom is not marked by stone walls or physical barriers. It is an invisible empire, defined by scent and sound. The boundaries of this territory are drawn on the wind and etched into the landscape with powerful primitive signals that every other lion understands. Patrolling these borders is one of the most critical daily tasks for the males of the pride. They walk the edges of their land with a confident, deliberate stride. They are not merely wandering, they are reinforcing their claim, making it clear to all that this land is taken and will be defended with lethal force. Scent marking is their primary tool for communication. The males will spray a potent mixture of urine and glandular secretions onto bushes, trees, and rocks along their patrol routes. This is their signature, a chemical message that is as clear as a written sign. It tells rival lions everything they need to know: who holds this territory, how strong they are, and when they last passed this way. They also scrape the ground with their powerful hind legs, leaving visible marks and depositing more scent from glands in their paws. These scent posts are the cornerstones of their kingdom, a constant declaration of ownership. The second great tool of territorial defense is the roar. A lion's roar is one of the most powerful and awe-inspiring sounds in the natural world. It can travel for up to 5 miles across the open savanna, a deep, guttural sound that vibrates through the very ground. It is not just a random noise, it is a carefully orchestrated broadcast. A roar serves 2 purposes. First, it is a rallying call for the pride, a way for scattered members to locate each other in the vastness of the plains. It reinforces their bond and lets them know they are not alone in the darkness. More importantly, the roar is a long-distance warning to rivals. When the males of a pride roar together, the combined sound is immense and intimidating. It is a statement of strength in numbers, a sonic fence that declares this land is ours. Stay away or face the consequences. A lone male trespassing in a territory will hear that roar and know he is outnumbered. It is a psychological weapon, designed to avoid physical conflict whenever possible by advertising overwhelming strength. Through these invisible but potent signals of scent and sound, the lions build and maintain their brutal kingdom. To be the leader of a lion pride is to wear a heavy and, precarious crown. The dominant male is not a king who rules from a comfortable throne. He is a warrior king, a soldier right on the front lines of a never-ending war. His life, well, it's one of privilege, but also of immense pressure and constant danger. He has the primary right to mate with the lionesses, making sure, that his powerful genes are passed on to the next generation. He also gets the lion's share of every kill, eating first to maintain the strength he needs for his demanding role. This is not greed, it's a practical necessity for the survival of the entire pride. His primary responsibility is protection. He is the guardian of the pride's territory, a living shield against the constant threat of rival males. His days are spent patrolling the borders, renewing scent marks, and listening for the roars of intruders. His nights, well, they're filled with vigilance. His senses on high alert for any sign of a challenge. He must be ready to fight at a moment's notice, to put his life on the line to defend his family and his kingdom. The impressive dark mane that frames his face is not just a symbol of his status. It also provides some protection to his neck and throat during the vicious fights that define his reign. The leader is also the protector of the cubs. When new males take over a pride, their first act is often to kill all the young cubs sired by their predecessors. This brutal act, known as infanticide, brings the lionesses back into estrus more quickly, allowing the new males to father their own offspring. Therefore, the resident male's ability to hold his territory is directly linked to the survival of his children. He is not just fighting for land, he is fighting for the future of his own bloodline. Every patrol, every roar, every confrontation is a desperate effort to keep his cubs alive until they are old enough to fend for themselves. This life of constant battle takes a heavy toll. A male lion's reign is often brutally short, sometimes lasting only 2 or 3 years. He lives with the constant threat of being overthrown by younger, stronger challengers. His body over time becomes a map of his life, covered in scars from countless fights. He must be perpetually strong, because any sign of weakness will be seen as an invitation for a takeover. The weight of the crown is the weight of endless responsibility, and the knowledge that his rule will almost certainly end in a violent and bloody battle for the throne. The savanna landscape is dotted with termite mounds, great castles of earth baked hard by the African sun. To us, they are just features of the terrain, but to a lion, they are much more. These mounds are watchtowers, strategic vantage points that offer a commanding view of the surrounding plains. The leader of the pride will often seek out the highest termite mound or rocky outcrop, a natural throne from which he can survey his kingdom. From this elevated position, he can see for miles, his keen eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of trouble. He is the sentinel, the lone guard on duty. While the rest of the pride may be sleeping in the shade, recovering from a hunt or tending to cubs, the male is often on watch. He watches the movements of the great prey herds, noting their location and direction. This information is vital for planning the next hunt. He watches for the telltale shapes of other predators, like hyenas, who might try to steal a kill or threaten the cubs. His presence alone, visible for a great distance, can be enough to deter these opportunistic rivals. His vigil is a silent and constant service to his family. Most importantly, he watches for other lions. From his perch he can spot an intruder long before they reach the heart of his territory. He can see the dust kicked up by a walking male or catch the glint of the sun on a tawny coat. This early warning is crucial. It gives him time to prepare, to assess the threat, and to meet it head-on, far from the vulnerable cubs and lionesses. The termite mound is his command post, the nerve center of his entire defensive operation. He's not just resting, he's processing a constant stream of information about his world. This image of the lone lion on the mound, silhouetted against the vast sky, is a powerful symbol of his role. He's both a part of the pride and separate from it. His duties as protector often place him on the periphery, a solitary figure bearing the full weight of responsibility. He is the king, but also the chief scout and the first line of defense. His life is one of loneliness and vigilance, a constant watch over the kingdom he has fought so hard to win and must fight even harder to keep. The safety and prosperity of his entire dynasty rests upon his shoulders as he keeps his lonely watch. The reign of a Lion King is destined to end in violence. The world of lions is unsentimental, and power is a temporary prize. Sooner or later, a challenge will come. It may come from a single nomadic male in his prime, or from a coalition of brothers who have been driven from their own birth pride and are desperate to establish a kingdom of their own. These challengers are an ever-present threat, constantly testing the borders, listening for any sign of weakness from the resident males. They are young, strong, and have nothing to lose. The confrontation, when it finally happens, is a terrifying spectacle of brutal force. It is not a ritualized display, it is a fight to the death. The battle begins with intimidating roars and aggressive posturing, each side trying to unnerve the other, but it quickly escalates into a physical clash. The lions charge at each other, their massive bodies colliding with incredible impact. They use their formidable claws like daggers, slashing at faces and flanks. They bite and wrestle, each trying to gain a dominant position from which they can deliver a crippling or fatal blow. These fights are savage and chaotic. Dust flies, and the air is filled with furious snarls and deep, guttural growls. The goal is to inflict maximum damage, to break the will and the body of the opponent. A common tactic is to try and bite the spine or the back of the neck, an injury that can instantly paralyze and end the fight. The male's thick manes offer some protection, but serious injuries are almost inevitable. Deep wounds, broken teeth, and even lost eyes are common outcomes. The loser, if he survives, will be driven from the territory, forced back into a life of solitary wandering, often succumbing to his injuries or starvation. If the challengers are victorious, the transfer of power is swift and brutal. The new kings take immediate control of the pride and the territory. Their first grim task is to eliminate the legacy of their predecessors. They will seek out and kill all the young cubs in the pride. This act of infanticide, while horrifying to us, is a crucial biological strategy. It ensures that the lionesses will quickly become ready to mate again, allowing the new males to start their own dynasty without delay. The brutal battle for the throne is not just about land. It is about the fundamental drive to pass on one's genes, the most powerful imperative in nature. The aftermath of a takeover is a time of turmoil and new beginnings. For the lionesses, the loss of their cubs is a tragedy, but they have little choice but to accept their new rulers. Their own survival and future reproductive success depend on their allegiance to the new, stronger males. Within a short time, they will mate with the conquerors, and the cycle of life will begin anew. Soon, the pride will be filled with the sight of new cubs, the offspring of the victorious kings. The pride's lineage has been violently reset, but its existence continues, secured by the strength of its new protectors. The new cubs face a world just as dangerous as the one their half-siblings left behind. They are incredibly vulnerable for the first few months of their lives. They are born blind and helpless, and must be hidden away by their mothers in dense thickets or rocky dens. Even when they are old enough to join the pride, danger is everywhere. They can be killed by hyenas, trampled by buffalo, or even fall victim to a snake bite. Their own fathers, while generally protective, can be short-tempered and may kill a cub with a careless swipe of a paw during a dispute over food. Survival to adulthood is a remarkable achievement. As the cubs grow, their life is a mixture of play and learning. They spend their days chasing each other, pouncing on their mother's twitching tail, and play fighting with their siblings. These games are not just for fun. They are essential training for their future roles. The young males practice the fighting skills they will one day need to win their own territory. The young females practice the stalking and pouncing techniques they will need to become successful hunters. They watch the adults intently, learning the complex social rules of the pride and the deadly serious business of the hunt. This new generation represents the future of the kingdom. If their fathers can successfully defend the territory for long enough, these cubs will reach maturity. The young females will be recruited into the pride, strengthening the sisterhood of hunters. The young males, upon reaching adolescence, will be driven out. They will become nomads, forced to wander the savannah and face the world alone or with their brothers. They will have to learn to survive on their own, honing their skills until they are strong enough to face the ultimate test challenging for a throne of their own, thus continuing the brutal and endless circle of life. The lion's kingdom, for all its raw power and ferocious defense, is a fragile entity. It is a temporary stronghold in a world of constant change and challenge. The reign of any one king is fleeting, a brief chapter in the long and bloody history of the savannah. The borders he defends so fiercely today will be held by another tomorrow. This constant turnover of power, this cycle of violence and renewal, is the very thing that ensures the long-term survival of the species. It guarantees that only the strongest, fittest, and most capable lions get to lead the prides and father the next generation. The balance of life on the savanna is incredibly delicate. The lions, as apex predators, play a crucial role in maintaining this balance. By hunting the vast herds of herbivores, they prevent overgrazing and keep the populations healthy, weeding out the weak and the sick. But their own existence is tied directly to the health of these herds. If drought or disease decimates the prey populations, the lions will starve. Their kingdom is not an island, it is an integral part of a complex web of life where every strand is connected, and the fate of the hunter is forever linked to the fate of the hunted. Today, on this date of 28th of April, 2026, the lion's kingdom faces a threat greater than any rival male or competing predator. That threat is us. The vast savannas are shrinking, carved up by farms, ranches, and human settlements. The invisible borders of the lion's territory are being erased by fences and roads. The ancient migratory routes of their prey are being blocked. Conflict with humans is increasing as lions sometimes prey on livestock, leading to retaliatory killings. The king of the beasts is being pushed into smaller and smaller pockets of wilderness, his kingdom under siege from a world he cannot understand or fight. Yet, for now, the lion endures. In the protected parks and reserves that remain, the ancient drama continues to unfold. The sun still rises over the golden plains. The lionesses still hunt with silent, deadly grace. The males still roar their defiance into the African night, their voices echoing across the land. The kingdom of the lion, forged in conflict and ruled by strength, is a powerful reminder of the raw, untamed beauty of the natural world. It is a fragile and enduring symbol of the brutal, magnificent, and ongoing fight for survival that defines all life on Earth.